Attack on Titan finally came to a conclusion a few days ago. After a long decade of airing, with its ending, the series brought many mixed emotions. Some people may be sad that the anime has finalized, others have a sour taste in their mouths with how the finale panned out, and others thinking that the show ended the way it should have, some even calling it a masterpiece with Eren's death. I myself am a bit divided with the finale. On one hand, the protagonist turned antagonist of the show somewhere in the second half of the series. Regardless of where your moral compass stands, you want to see Eren's plan be 100% executed with a rumbling, ending all life outside of Paradise Island, leaving all of Eldia and Eldians free of any threats. On the other hand, you can also understand where Armin, Mikasa, and the rest of the scouts are coming from, thinking that the eradication of all other life outside the walls is wrong and maybe taking things a bit too far. Eren and Armin both desire freedom. That much is understood. They are two sides of the same coin. Their definition of freedom is black and white, and the best way that I can visually showcase this is with the final scene of Season 3. Eren and Armin always imagined what life outside of the walls would be like. They both thought that there was an endless ocean awaiting them. That was their freedom. This is what Eren believed freedom was because of the stories that were in Armin's book. The moment he was betrayed by the likes of Annie, Reiner, and Bertolt and slowly started uncovering and understanding the truth was when his definition of freedom changed. Finding out about Marley, the nation beyond the walls, and across the ocean, and Marleyans being the people responsible for turning Eldians into Titans, freedom to Eren was no longer just escaping the walls of Paradise Island and killing all Titans, but more importantly protecting all of the other Eldians. At this point, he knows there are external forces causing all of the pain and suffering. The Titans, while yes still being a threat, Eren knows that the real enemy is beyond the vast ocean, waiting to make their next move on the Eldian people. His entire perception changes even though he doesn't want to turn into this cold killer. To him, well, it's the only way to go about things. He must activate the rumbling to ensure the safety of all of his friends and all of Eldia. Going back to the final scene of Season 3, this scene is so impactful after explaining all of that. Right here, you witness every one of the scouts in awe at the sight before them. Everyone but Eren. To him, this conflict is not over, it's far from over. On the other side of the ocean awaits a bloodbath. Armin goes on about how it's exactly how he read in his books. Eren then questions whether or not they will finally be free after they kill everyone on the other side. I mean, after witnessing his own mother being eaten alive by a Titan, the betrayal of people he considered friends, the many deaths within the Survey Corps, and memories passed down to him from his father through the founding Titan, the man is just broken. In this other scene, Eren saves a boy by the name of Ramsey. After saving the kid from being beaten up because of pickpocketing, Eren begins to have a breakdown. He begins to apologize for what he is about to do. He states he is no different from Reiner when Reiner, along with Annie and Bertolt, invaded Eldia, massacring everyone in sight and destroying their homeland. In fact, Eren acknowledges he is worse than Reiner. This scene helps sympathize with Eren quite a bit. Even if you think what he is doing is wrong, he is over here crying his eyes out, being sorry for what he is about to do, only for him to crush and kill Ramsey, the same person that he saved not too long ago. He kills him, and then along him, 80% of the world's population too. With the final special of Attack on Titan, you see the rumbling transpire. The Eldians of Eldia and the Eldian warriors of Marley join forces to stop Eren, and the only way of stopping him is by killing him. Pieck has access to the Car Titan, Reiner has access to the Armored Titan, Armin the Colossal Titan, Annie the Female Titan, and Falco the Jaw Titan. Also fighting along their side are characters such as Gabby, Levi, Coney, John, and Mikasa. They have 5 out of the 9 Titan powers, while Eren has the Founding, Warhammer, and Attack Titan. And I guess the Beast Titan too, since Zeke was still holding onto the Titan power, but he didn't really use the Beast Titan. It was more of a husk than anything else. Technically speaking, too, Eren did have all 9 of the Titan powers at his disposal, with past Titan shifter husks such as Bertolt Porco and Laura playing a role into it. Mikasa finally reaches Eren, decapitating him while staring into the eyes of the man he loves, the very man that saved her all those years ago and wrapped that iconic scarf around her. At the end of all this chaos and fighting, Eren and Armin have a final one-on-one conversation before they part ways, before their one-on-one battle. Now, this exchange is different compared to the manga, and a lot of people didn't seem to like it much when the final chapter was released. I won't be going in depth about the differences between the manga and the anime, however, there are videos out there that do explain not only the differences in this conversation between these characters, but also all of the changes made from manga to anime from this entire final episode. To sum it all up, Eren confesses that he did all of this for Armin, Mikasa, and everyone else. He goes on to explain that he did anything he could to create distance between them and to make them the heroes once he was stopped, gaining all of the respect from all 20% of humanity that survived the rumbling. Eren goes on about how he doesn't want Mikasa to find anyone else, how he doesn't want to die, wanting to spend the rest of his life with her, and that even in death, wanting her to always be thinking about him. I remember reading this part of the chapter and, like a lot of people, thinking it was really odd for this side of Eren to come out after being so cold for all of season 4. The only time we saw this side of Eren during season 4 was the scene with Ramsey, and that scene took place before season 4. Chronologically speaking, it all makes sense that it was all a mask on his end. It's what he needed to do to carry out this plan. Armin states that he too thought about erasing everyone from the face of the earth. Armin feels just as guilty as Eren for the massacre of all these people, considering the fact it was Armin who showed Eren his book about a free, unoccupied world. With this, they embrace one last time with a hug, saying to each other they will see each other in hell at some point and be together forever. With this, the rumbling comes to an end. Everyone reunites with their friends and family. It's here that it is revealed that Eren gave everyone their memories back of when they had their final conversations with him. The previous scene being Armin's. Armin eventually wakes up and embraces Mikasa while she has Eren's head with her, crying his eyes out. Mikasa then goes to bury him under the tree where it all began, where the entire beginning of the show began. Then 3 years pass after what is referred to as the Battle of Heaven and Earth. You see people who survived trying to rebuild civilization, I'm sure still both physically healing and mentally from the events that took place. We then cut to Mikasa. She's obviously still very emotional over the death of Eren, crying, wanting to see him again, as she happens to see both of them as kids interacting with one another. This causes her to break down when out of nowhere a bird swoops in and fixes Mikasa's scarf. Some people believe this is Eren reincarnated. Some people believe it was the same bird that was flying above Falco at the start of season 4 and the same one that was eavesdropping on Armin's confession to Annie. I don't really know which I think it's true, but it's a fan theory and that's what makes it fun, so I'll leave it up in the air for you to decide. The final scene after the credits, there's not much to unpack here, but there is speculation about maybe Attack on Titan getting a sequel. The reason for this is because in the scene you see a character with a dog walking toward the same tree where Eren was buried. We don't know if this character has any relation to any of the previous characters. I mean, this certainly does leave the door open for a continuation of the story many years after the events of the rumbling, and you can tell it's been many years into the future just with the credits showing you time loops and whatnot. All the buildings look a little bit futuristic. It looks like some years have passed, so it kind of gives you an indication that a good amount of time has definitely passed. I ultimately did enjoy this final episode, and I think the anime adaptation did the series more justice than the manga for sure. There are some scenes I did not go in depth with. If I covered every scene, this would be a much longer video, so that's my reasoning why. But let me know what you thought about it in the comments. The script took me about 3 hours to write, so if you could please just leave a like, subscribe, share this video with anybody who's into Attack on Titan. Any form of engagement would help and I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to really try to push this YouTube thing in these last 2 months of 2023 going into the new year of 2024. I think initially my goal was to try to do one video a week, but realistically, I think a better goal that I can probably commit to for sure is maybe one video every 2 weeks. Again, I don't know how consistent I'm gonna be with it, but I'm gonna make that my goal. One video every 2 weeks. I think that's doable. I think I can do it if I really put my mind to it. But I mean, that's pretty much all I've got. I'm done talking. I had to do so many retakes with some of these recordings that my voice, I need to go get some water. But yeah, I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye.